Hi guys, today I'm going to be speaking about how you can be both soft and strong simultaneously. So what's inspired this conversation for myself is the fact that I was speaking to a friend. She lives in a different country. She's very much in her empowered boss girl era. She works in a business and she has a decent position where she's in charge of quite a lot of men. And when she posted on her private story with the fact that she had got home, it was 7 p.m, she was already tucked into the bed with all her face creams on, ready to relax and just go to sleep essentially. She posted about how she was so confused and she was like, what is happening to me? This is not me at all. I'm very much this empowered boss girl. And then I responded to her saying, welcome to your soft girl era. And she immediately went, no, that's not me. I couldn't do that. Look at me. Like, I'm so many things in this office. I know how to take charge. This is not me at all. And I said to her, you know, you can simultaneously be more than one thing, more than one archetype. You don't have to box yourself into exclusively just one. And I think it definitely caused an interesting assessment of society in itself at the moment, whereby we have so many different types of archetypes and ideas out there, and people box themselves into one, when I'm thinking, actually, so many of us fit so many different archetypes that we shouldn't be limiting ourselves. And, you know, I think you just take pause and evaluate the people in your life, specifically when it comes to being strong and soft. People don't look at them as something you could tie together. However, most people that I know, if they've gone through something but still have kind hearts, they are both soft and strong. But it does appear as a contradiction, because you don't imagine this idea of strong and strength to be something that you could tie in closely with soft and very kind and caring. And it doesn't make sense, does it? But it actually does, because think about it. You could be so aware of yourself, empowered, have good boundaries, know your worth, but simultaneously that doesn't eliminate the fact that you can be soft, kind, caring, and aware of how you impact others in the world. And it definitely, I think, is something that you could put together, and oftentimes does go together. Why strength isn't what we've been taught. So I believe that we've got a lot of movie, comic book, actual books influences from the idea of what we believe strength is. So, you know, we can look at superheroes and go, okay, they've got a backstory, they've got something they've gone through, they've got a tough skin, they can save the day. However, true strength isn't about being the biggest, strongest, loudest in the room. It's about knowing your worth and not needing validation. There is also a strength in knowing when to walk away. I think that a lot of people who want to prove they're strong, or they're trying to get to that point in their mind when they feel strong, is they feel the necessity to prove it. Whereas others who genuinely are strong in their mind, strong in their values, they know when to leave a situation that is just not going anywhere. Whether it's a case of it's not serving them, whether they know it's a pointless conversation, or it's something that's going to hurt them, and they go, actually, I'm going to self-preserve and take a step back. I got a tea. Oh, I love it. I like tea. What would this one say? Bread and water can so easily be toast and tea. Famous quote from Dragonfly Tea. I don't know where they copied that from, but I do like their little quotes on some of their tea bags. It's very sweet. But I think the last point that I wanted to make about this whole initial part about strength is that strong people know it and they don't need to prove it. The same way, if you've got brunette hair, for example, if someone tries to state that you've got neon pink hair, it's not going to bother you because you are fully aware of the fact that you're brunette. So no matter how many times someone tries to say you've got neon pink hair, you can look at yourself and go, I know I've got brunette hair. I don't need to prove it to anyone. And it should be the same thing whenever someone, or you want to prove to someone that you've got strength or another quality. Because so many people spend their lives worrying about how others perceive them. They forget about how they perceive themselves, or those close to them. I feel a lot of the time people forget that the ones close to them, the ones that people often push down, are the ones that matter most. I see so often people go to work and they bring their best selves to work, yet when they get home they bring their slouchy, grumpy, moody selves. But at the end of the day, when it's Christmas, or when you're celebrating, when it's your birthday, when it's your life, when you're unwell, when life doesn't turn around to be so exciting, the people that matter most to you are often the ones that you neglect and push down. And so it's one of those things that it is so good to take a pause and reflect on who actually matters to you, and those are the people that you should care about how they perceive you. And that's it. So how are you soft and strong at the same time? Either you want to recognise that you are, or you want to know how to do it. In my belief, I just think this is something that naturally happens and you don't need to worry about becoming something. It just is a journey of life and it's always fluid, you're always evolving, and as long as you're doing it with the best intentions and looking to better yourself and better the world around you, I don't think it matters too much. But one thing that I've observed from people who I would consider both soft and strong is they are very firm in their boundaries, however still kind. So they know that what respect they have for themselves is also the respect they give to the world outward. Another thing is letting people believe they're winning while silently removing yourself from toxicity. So I think I definitely experienced this for myself when I was taking steps back from toxicity. I remember my ex running around making up all these lies just so that he could get a pity party, and really he collected this new group of people that felt so sorry for him, thinking he was a victim of all these lies that he had made up, when in fact all the people who had watched it from day one, people who were actually involved, not observing from the sidelines, really knew how bad he was treating me and others around him, and we all just sort of looked and observed, and what we did is we all silently removed ourselves from toxicity. He wanted to believe he was winning, that's what we let him do. You want to believe you're winning? Cool. I don't need to be a part of this. I want to stay away from this toxicity, full stop. And I've noticed that a lot of people who, again, I would consider soft and strong, do this. You don't need to create a big dramatic showcase, you don't need to say or have the final word, because your closure is knowing that, no, this isn't for me, I don't need to be a part of it. And the final thing I would say in this section is that you speak with grace and elegance, but never looking for respect. So one thing that I admire about a lot of people who, again, I would consider having both strength and softness, is that you don't seek out other people to respect you. You just go, this is my opinion, this is my belief, this is my version of events, this is my truth, these are what I believe my facts are, and that's it. And you're not seeking out to get validation, you're not seeking out to get respect from anyone, because you respect yourself, and that is more than enough. I was just trying to put my hair away like that, and then the tea bag clung onto my finger and just went plonk. So I've got tea all over my jumper now. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh my goodness. But the next point that I wanted to make was, in strength, I believe that there is an element of quiet confidence that one has. By that, you don't feel that you need to over-explain yourself to people, especially those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You're not cold, you just don't entertain nonsense. So one thing for me is that I've noticed I try and be kind in everything that I do, but at the same time, I don't tolerate nonsense. So I just say, actually, I don't agree with that and I'm not going to continue that conversation anymore. And that takes a lot of people by surprise when that comes in, because you're like, thank you, I respect that you may have an opinion on this, however, I know my opinion and I don't want to speak about this anymore. And I think where people get so taken aback by someone that does speak in that way is because you're not being unkind, you're not being rude, you're just clearly stating a boundary and asserting it and redirecting the conversation elsewhere. And it's one of those things where you're like, yes, this is good, because you're able to voice very clearly, this is something I'm not going to entertain, but at the same time, I don't want to disrespect your time or leave the conversation, so let's redirect. And the right people will not see your softness as weakness. I think the more I've looked at evaluation of toxic people that I've had in my life historically, they would take my softness as a weakness and try and take advantage of it. Whereas all the people who I absolutely love and adore, my friendships, my family, people at work, who are very kind and loving individuals, they view my softness as a gift. They're like, it's so amazing that you've gone through everything you've gone through, that you continue to be so strong, but at the same time you have this softness about you. It gives us hope for the world. And when I meet people who also have gone through, whether it's abuse, whether it's quite challenging times in life, and they still choose to be kind and loving individuals, it really does give me hope about the world, and it really reinforces the fact that you can be both soft and strong at the same time. When you start off soft and you don't have that strength about you, it's just because you need to polish your boundaries, and the moment you have boundaries, you protect that softness. And in fact, for me, I think they almost need to come together, because you protect your softness with the strength. And when you accomplish that knowledge that you can be both, and it's completely okay, if not very healthy, to have both, you really nourish your inner child and everything that you want to give out to the world, which is positive. You don't need to be aggressive to be powerful. You can be both powerful and kind and loving. But at the same time, you know, your kindness does not mean that you let people walk over you. And historically, I wanted to be kind to others, especially people that I loved and cared about, where I overextended myself and essentially was walked over, to the point that I had to learn the hard way that you can be soft and strong and protect your boundaries, protect the things about yourself, and that's not unkind to do that. It's just about knowing the balance of both worlds. Which leads me into the sort of final point, that when you do acknowledge that you have these traits about you and you fully accept that about yourself, you don't care about how others perceive you anymore. You just acknowledge that, yes, I am both soft and strong, and those are really lovely qualities. And then you just sort of move on with life, and that's it. But I think just with society having this whole idea about archetypes and, the boss gal era, the soft gal era, the feminine, masculine as well. I really wanted to finish filming in the day, then I had a deadline and then family responsibilities came up, so now I'm filming before bed just to make sure I finish it up. I could obviously film it another time in the sunlight where it looks much better. This selfie flashlight in the dark is not the best look, and I think again that shows you that, you know, you can look great in one place and then you're not going to have the same sparkle and shine about yourself come through in the wrong environment or the wrong lighting. And wrapping it up, I just believe that there are so many different pressures from society, from so many different angles, different people, beyond ourselves. I feel like we also are our own biggest critic, that it becomes this obligation almost, that once we reach a certain trait or archetype, we feel obligated to perform to that. Like my friend, she reached what she feels is her boss girl era, and she feels obligated to only do that, when in actuality the truth is multiple things can exist at the same time, and that is okay. You can be both someone who is a great director and a boss, who is also soft, and someone who is also very family orientated. Same way you could be obsessed with the gym, but and also really enjoy food. There is no obligation for you to only box yourself into one place. That's also unfair, because you're not allowing yourself to really give yourself the full flavour of life or experience yourself to the full capacity. So for me, everything in moderation, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way and you're not harming others or yourself, then, you know, why box yourself into one thing? And that's it. So I feel like the biggest example that people struggle with is labelling themselves as both soft and strong. But, you know, this is transferable to so many other different things. But yes, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Sleep well.